Hello everybody, welcome back to Dirt Road Nation.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Jake.
We are the Dirt Road Men. And we are about to have a great fucking video because we are smoking a Montecristo and drinking some epic bourbon. You might think, isn't this your life? And the answer is yes and no. Because sometimes we review really shitty bourbon and really shitty cigars. That is not the case today. Man, that is good. Why can we not get that in Kansas when it's made in Colorado? Anyway, so we're here today to do a cigar review of the Montecristo 1935 anniversary Nicaragua series. The Nicaragua series is kind of a giveaway of the biggest thing I was going to talk about, but whatever. So this is their 85th anniversary release. I'm not sure how we get into this being their 85th anniversary given the whole separate from the Cuban brand thing. I thought they left Cuba later, around the 50s-ish, but I could be wrong. We will talk about that in the back half. I haven't pulled that up yet, so...
Anyway. We're going to learn it together.
Yeah. So Montecristo, wanting to really pull out all the stops with their 85th anniversary release, decided they were going to tap the person who I honestly think at this point needs to just be considered the undisputed king of the cigar industry as far as blenders right now, which would be AJ Fernandez. I really like Don Pepin Garcia. There's something to be said for all the blenders and all the brands, but I never see a name more than AJ Fernandez in cigars that I like. Let's put it that way. The only AJ Fernandez cigars I've genuinely just not enjoyed were under his Diesel brand, which I genuinely have come to believe is his experimentation realm. I think he experiments in Diesel, and then he plays that out in his other brands. So,
seeing his name on something is almost like seeing Jimmy or Eddie Russell's name on something.
Yeah, you just can assume it's going to be good, most likely. Which is why, if I get to make my own whiskey, I would ideally do it with one of those two. Like, literally, we're going to have sex, and then we're going to... Anyway. And it's never going to happen now. Anyway.
Oh, man.
Straight to hell for me. Anyway.
It's okay, I bought the link.
You did. You really did. So this is a Nicaraguan Puro. What does Puro mean? It's everything in this cigar is sourced from one country. So the filler, wrapper, binder, all of it, Nicaragua. I will say, I've got coffee and spice. Not like pepper, though. Like Mrs. Dash. and wood.
Okay, yeah. I do get some pepper. Like black pepper. And then little hints here and there of leather. But I will agree with you on the Mrs. Dash. Put that shit on everything.
Okay, so a little bit on the best retrohale I can muster would pull me like the scent of leather. But it's just barely there. I didn't notice it until you said something and I went looking for it. And without that, I don't notice it at all. But I will say that it's off to a pretty good start. The cigar seems well made. It draws very well on the jump. There are no real imperfections in this, and I am a little partial to the Toro size. It kind of tends to be my favorite size. Sometimes I'll jump into Robustos, and sometimes I'll jump into Churchills. But the one I almost always end up back with as my favorite is the Toro sized. and it's box pressed in this case. I'm sure there are others available, but this is like, if you want to hand me a size, this is perfect.
Yeah. The only, as far as like little imperfections go, is I got like a little bit of separation here on the corner, but it's not
Really?
like, it's nothing really. It's just if I wanted to, I could probably get my nail underneath it.
Yeah, I don't see it. Normally what I would just do then is, and he knows this, I'm telling you, normally what I would do then is lick my thumb, stick it down. 9 times out of 10 that's going to work pretty much until the cigar gets back to where that imperfection is as you're smoking it, and then it's going to kind of flay out. You might have to touch up your burn.
Yeah, and it's nothing really.
Mm-hmm.
So.
See, I don't have shit. Like, there's this almost imperfection, but it's taken care of by the leaf around it.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's very, very well done, which is to be expected with a Montecristo that runs like $15. Montecristo, I think, has done a very good job. I think the only Montecristo I've had I don't like is the white series. But they've done a very, very good job of living up to their Cuban ancestry name. I have loved Montecristo since I started smoking cigars, and I'm pretty pleased with this one so far. I will say that given that it was an AJ blend, and given that it was a natural, I didn't expect it to be as Maduro-esque as this is.
That's a natural.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a Maduro. It is.
Yeah, it's just kind of a darker looking natural leaf. And even its flavor profile online, when I looked it up, was like 3/4 of the way over, not all the way over. But given that it was 3/4 of the way over, I expected a more natural smoke. But you'll hear us say coffee and black pepper and leather with most Maduros. So, that's surprising. But yeah, this is not a Maduro cigar.
Huh.
Given that, I'm very impressed with the direction we're going.
Same.
So I don't want to linger on too long. Do you got any more you want to add to this front part?
Nope, everything I thought of you I already hit on, so.
You talk a lot in our whiskey videos, I talk a lot in our cigar videos, it evens out.
Yeah.
So we'll be back in a little bit with the back half.
Hello, welcome to the back half.
That shit is good.
Yes, it is.
We actually needed that break. I drank so much whiskey with no food that I was starting to get a little tipsy. So, before we get into what we thought about this cigar, I want to talk a little bit about the brand Montecristo. Montecristo was founded in Cuba in 1935, so it's one of the later founded brands. That's thus the 85th anniversary thing. So this cigar was just released last year. They were founded when a guy named Alonso Menendez bought the Particulares factory, and they became successful really fast. Like in 1936, they bought H. Upmann. So within a year, they were big enough to buy one of the other biggest cigar brands in the world that was faltering at the time. They fled communism in the 60s because Castro's a bitch. They restarted their brand, and this version, which is descended from the company that guy brought with him that founded the brand, is basically only sold in countries that say fuck Cuba and their communism. So they're now based in the Dominican Republic.
Which is respectable.
Mm-hmm. So we got a brand pushed forward by a guy with 25 more years experience than when he started the brand in Cuba. So, not to say Cuban Montecristos are bad, because the number 2 is like the most popular in the world, but this one actually was pretty good. I will say it's not as good as the Espada. I was really pleased with the Espada and the Espada Oscuro. But especially for being a natural, this was
Yeah.
a really, really hefty cigar. I was very impressed with it.
Same. About the time I got about halfway through it, I got like a really creamy mouthfeel, and I really like that.
I would agree with that. It also kind of shifted. There's like a weird sort of sweetness, and there's like a cinnamony pepper thing going on now. It is weird. That could have something to do with the whiskey. I think this whiskey says something about notes of cinnamon in it. It does. So maybe the cinnamon is brought out by pairing it with Law's 4 grain. But I am getting some of that, but most of what I'm getting right now is kind of that cinnamon spice of wood, and that leather came front and center, and the coffee kind of dropped off completely. So
I agree with that.
obviously I liked it quite a bit because I had the bitch like smoked down to here a half hour ago. He was writing, so I kept smoking and smoked faster for once. I'd say I'm at an 8 with a cigar, which for AJ Fernandez is kind of punching low. But I'm very pleased with it. I do think, given its price point, there are a lot of other cigars that I would choose over it, including the Espada Oscuro. But I think it's a solid cigar. It's worth having.
I'll agree with you on that. I think it's a good 8. I was really impressed with it. Not being a Maduro, really kind of I guess pump my. If this was a Maduro, I might have only given it a 7. But
yeah, but for it punching the way it does and being natural it's a very impressive blend, especially given that. And it's a Nicaraguan Puro, which is, I don't know why, but I like the idea of Puro. So, although we made a joke the other day that if Jake were to make a cigar, it would probably be like a San Andres Maduro Puro, meaning filler, wrapper, everything is San Andres Maduro. So, yeah, I think that's all we really have for you though today, unless you have anything else to add.
I do not.
Alright, till we see you again, I'm Zach.
And I'm Jake.
We are the Dirt Road Men. Hey everybody, if you like this video, hit a like or dislike, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And if you really like what we're doing, check us out over on Facebook, where we post every day.